Hello and welcome, beautiful soul, to the Womb Alchemy podcast. I, Sophia Maria, am so honored to be here with you today. Thank you for hitting play. Thank you for joining me in my Womb Alchemy world. We have a lot of fun, we keep it real, and we keep it magical in this space. And I'm really excited to be bringing you my first episode of this podcast. And this episode is being launched on the week of my 29th birthday. My final rotation around the sun in my 20s. This feels like a completion, and it feels like a perfect time for me to come on and launch this extension of me. This podcast is an extension of me. It is an extension of my story. And I'm here to share with you about this womb wisdom that has changed my life, about soul medicine, about priestess energy, about mental health, about mindset transformation, all of these different tools that have truly transformed who I am and how I live my life. And I'm really excited to share all of this with you because I wholeheartedly believe that this medicine, this womb medicine, is here to save our planet. It is here to save our collective, and it is here as a powerful tool for us to transmute our pain into power. And that is my intention with this podcast. My intention with this podcast is to host a virtual ceremonial space where storytelling, soul sharing is this energy that we get to share in together so that we can relate with one another in a very modern and virtual world, to create community, to create sisterhood, so that you know that you're not alone on your journey, so that you know that life is hard for a lot of other people, even the people who seem like they have it figured out. So I'm here to keep it real because I really see myself as a bridge between the human world and the spirit world. And as a bridge, I find that living in harmony of my spiritual essence, along with how it's balanced in my human embodiment and expression, is really key to happiness, and not pushing away either aspect of the self. So it's going to be a messy ride, but it's also going to be magical. And that's really how I am and who I am. I'm messy and I'm magical. It is the polarity of self, and we live in a world of polarity and the spectrum of experiences that come with being a human, that come with being a soul, having this human experience. And I'm here to connect with you because I care about you. I care about the journey that you're on, and I care about the healing and the evolution of our collective, because the essence of the collective is this conscious expression of Earth itself. And so how we're doing as a collective, as a group of these people beings, is a direct extension of the status and the state of our planet. And this womb healing work, it is truly, truly life-changing, so much so that I've dedicated my entire life to sharing this wisdom and sharing this medicine. And this first episode is going to be a deep dive. It's going to be me being really vulnerable and open with you about my womb healing journey and how I got to be where I am today. I would love to start out this storytelling share about my womb healing journey by first introducing myself. Hey, beautiful being, I am Sophia Maria. This is my birth name. Sophia is my first name. Maria is my middle name. I feel very connected to this name as it is a name of divine feminine essence. And I feel very grateful to have received this name. And it's very much a confirmation of my mission and my passion here on earth, which is to midwife the rebirthing of the divine feminine. And Sophia is the name of Mother Goddess, the feminine face of God. And Mariya is also this ancient mother feminine energy. And in my name, Sophia Maria, I am connected to this Sophia Maria Anna lineage. I'm connected to it through a bloodline, and I'm connected to it as well through this cosmic feminine lineage. So, as you know, my name is Sophia Maria, and my grandmother's name is Mariya, and her grandmother's name was Anna. And my great-great-grandmother Anna, she was a shaman in the mountains of Ukraine. This is where my family is from. My whole family was born in Ukraine. Most of my family still lives there. And I'm the only one who was born in Philadelphia, in America. And with this lineage, the Sophia Maria Anna lineage, through meditation and through connecting with my womb and my guides, what has been shared with me is that the Sophia Maria Anna lineage is the triple womb goddess lineage. It is a reflection of the 3 phases of the womb, the 3 phases of the feminine, the 3 phases of the goddess, right? Just like the triple goddess symbol of the moons, the maiden, the mother, the crone. The Sophia Maria Anna lineage is an extension of this, and it is a reflection of the 3 phases of the womb: life, death, and rebirth. And so this Sophia Maria Anna lineage, it is a bloodline that I have been born into, and I can feel my ancestral energy within me when I channel and when I drop into my womb and into my blood, into my bones. I can feel my great-great-grandmother Anna moving through me, and I've met her in dreams even. And to explain now like this multi-dimensional layer of the Sophia Maria Anna lineage, as I said, Sophia is the name of the feminine face of God. Mariya is a reflection of Mother Mary. Mother Mary was an embodiment of Goddess Isis. She was a direct anchor and embodiment of Goddess Isis, and this is how she was able to have an immaculate conception. More on that later. And then Anna was Mother Mary's mother's name. So Mary, her mother, was Anna, and she is this crone energy. So Sophia Maria Anna, maiden, mother, crone. Life, death, rebirth. The 3 phases of the feminine, the 3 phases of the womb. And as I was discovering this about myself, it really confirmed my mission here on earth. And I can feel that my purpose is to help others heal, to help others connect with their womb. And when I talk about the womb, I will be very specific about which aspect of the womb I'm talking about, the physical or the energetic. Most of the time, I am talking about the energetic womb. My perspective of the womb is that it is a portal of creation held within our body, within our sacrum, like our sacral chakra. So regardless of your gender, regardless of the physical status of your womb, we all have wombs because we are all creators, and we are all channeling the creative life force of the universe into our womb. And so I am here to share this womb wisdom medicine for all receivers. I do specifically work with women, and so you will be hearing me refer a lot to the women's work that I do and to, share my own personal experience as a woman in this modern day world. And as a woman in this modern day world, I am also very ancient and very multidimensional, as I'm sure you are, because there are so many old souls on this planet right now. And it is really incredible when you meet them and you find them, and when you meet them, you're just like, wow, I feel like I know you. And it's like, we got this old soul connection, right? And so in this multidimensional layered self that I am of the Sophia Maria Anna lineage, and I am also a priestess of the Magdala Rose Mystery School. Back in 2016, I was initiated into the Magdala Rose Mystery School by this incredible woman named Susanna Sophia Hart. And this was facilitated in Sedona, and we had journeyed to womb temples and been initiated through sacred ceremony and ritual and anointing. And this is when I really felt my priestess self come online. This is when I started to really connect with all these past lifetimes as a priestess, living in ancient temples, practicing ancient tools of ascension. And when this priestess activation was initiated within me back in 2016, it's like it turned on this light switch in my cells and in my soul that allowed for me to access this ancient priestess wisdom that now just pours through me. It pours through me in the ceremonies I facilitate, in the healing sessions I facilitate, in the online courses I'm facilitating. Even now, it is surging and pouring through me to be shared. And so that's what happens when we activate different levels of ourself. We receive access to an ancient library of wisdom, and it turns on and it integrates into our physical human body, and it changes the way that we perceive ourselves and the way that we perceive reality. And my healing journey has been full of these activations that I have been moving through at different points of my life, accessing or activating different parts of me as I keep leveling up and leveling up and leveling up. And don't get me wrong, it has been a messy journey. It has been hard, and it's also been so beautiful and so rewarding. And that's what this healing journey is. It's not rainbows and butterflies. It sometimes is, but it's also tears and heaviness. But it is all for the purpose of releasing everything that you are not, so as to come into your true expression of self. Because when you're living in your true expression of self, you are magnetizing experiences that are a reflection of that. And that is what brings you joy, to have these expressions and extensions of yourself in your reality that light you up, that see you. And womb healing work, it facilitates that. And I want to just be really open here and talk about my story, because I know that there are so many different elements of my story that other people resonate with, because my story is your story, and our story is the story of the collective, and we are all here on earth together just doing our best. All we can do is our best. And I'm really meeting my edge here by coming on and starting this podcast. I've been wanting to do this for a really, really long time. And I've had to go through an identity shift in order to see myself as somebody who has a podcast, who shares her story regardless of any comments that might be made as a reaction to anything I say. And that actually guides me to an important point that I want to make. I am in full awareness how sensitive this content can be, talking about the womb, talking about mental health, talking about trauma, talking about the divine feminine rising. I am in full awareness that this content can sometimes be triggering. And I want to tell you here and now that I will always give you a heads up if I'm going to be mentioning any type of sexual abuse. I will not be going into details ever, but there may be mentions of it. And so I'm telling you this so that you can feel safe being in this space and know that you are held. And also, if emotions do come up in response to something that I say, this is an opportunity for you to sit with a part of yourself that is wanting to be acknowledged. Because if you were triggered by something, then that means there is a part of you, a wounded part of you, that is coming up in response. And it's really an opportunity to get to know which parts of yourself are needing some more love, which parts of yourself are perhaps ready to be restructured and released. And with that, this is a safe ceremonial space. And I'm here to share my heart and my womb with you because I care about the collective and I care about this message coming through and being transmitted for you. And this transmission continues in the sharing of all that I am and all of who I am here. I'm also an acupuncturist and was brought into Chinese medicine back in 2017. And I will be sharing more with you about acupuncture and how this is actually ancient dragon medicine and how it is also such a powerful way for us to work with homeopathic medicine to restructure the energetics of our body. And acupuncture is a major tool for healing and ascension and liberation from the inside out on all levels, mind, body, and spirit. I am also a womb healer and a womb coach, and Womb Alchemy is a business that exists virtually and in person. And I facilitate womb healing ceremonies, womb initiation journeys. I'm a womb coach who also runs courses online. Some are self-study, others are live. I work one-on-one closely with women all around the world to help them reclaim their womb as a sacred portal of creation. Your womb is like the realm of your subconscious. You can access any aspect of yourself, your shadow self, your inner child, your creatrix self, your pleasure self. This is a gateway that you get to step through and meet all aspects of the self. And layer by layer by layer, reclaim these parts of who you are. Reclaim your relationship to your body, to your yoni, which is the Sanskrit word for vagina. Reclaim your relationship to your truth, to your pleasure, to your power. To reclaim your relationship with your womb, to reclaim is to take it back and say, I am now deciding what this means to me. It is now up to me what my relationship with my body is. It is now up to me what my relationship with money is, with my womb is, with pleasure is. Not based on programming of society, not based on the conditioning of my upbringing, not based on modern day society, like none of it. No, it is my right to decide how this element of me shows up in my life and what it means to me. This is a reclamation of your power. And so the womb is this incredible realm of the self where you can work with these different extensions of you and alchemize them. Alchemy, the word alchemy is to take an energy and to transform the shape of it. And universal law states that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only change form. And that's what womb alchemy is. It is about taking the energy of a wounding, of pain, of trauma, of limiting beliefs, of blocked energy, sitting with it through ritual and ceremony and self-love, transmuting it into love, into empowerment. You can change the shape of anything. You can transform the energy of fear into safety. You can transform the energy of trauma into power. And this is not just about facing your traumas and the heaviness of all of what comes with that. No, this is about aligning you with a fuck yes life. This is about enhancing the quality of your life so that you can enjoy being alive, so that you can live in relationships that turn you on, where you feel seen, where you feel loved, where you feel acknowledged. This is about putting the power back in your hands to validate yourself, to have such a close relationship with yourself that any other relationship outside of you is extra. This is about intentionally creating your internal reality. Your internal reality is a direct reflection of your external and vice versa. Rather, it starts internally and projects outwardly. And so if we want to see changes in our external reality in life, then we first have to initiate transformation and change within. And it is then that this inner transformation begins to be reflected in experiences, in the way that we share ourselves with the world, in relationships, in what we create. It is all about connecting you with your inner creator. Because we are here on earth to create. And I really believe that that's the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to create. We are all here as an extension of the universe being creator or creatrix or source or God or goddess, whatever you want to call it, the greater. We are all here as an extension of that. And that is creative life force. The universe is constantly in a state of expansion. It is expanding through us, expanding in our life. And we are here to create. But so many of us are bombarded by such heavy fear that we forget we are here to create. We forget and we get stuck. And this womb alchemy work helps you get unstuck. It helps you create momentum in the direction of your life that you are seeking to move in. It creates a sanctuary within your womb, within your body, so that your body feels like a safe temple that you can live in, that you can create through. And not just create a baby. When I say create, I'm talking about anything that pours through you out into the world. Anything you say, the relationships you're in, the business you run, creating a child, creating a home, creating a healthy relationship with your body, creating a family, like whatever it is that you are wanting to create, however the universe moves through you, it is about reclaiming your throne. Reclaiming your throne as the master creator of your reality. And our womb, it is the motherboard of our creative life force. It is a magnet for creative life force, universal energy. And we absorb this energy from the universe into our womb, and it gets sent out into the rest of our body. And it is through this womb healing work that I have gone from being afraid of the masculine, from being unable to speak up for myself or put up boundaries, being so overwhelmed by my emotions that I was suicidal, from being so disconnected from my body that I was suffering from an eating disorder, from living in fear of myself and doubt of myself. There were so many parts of me that were out of sync with who my soul was. And over the last 10 years now of my healing journey, womb healing has carried me home into my body. It's brought me home into my truth. And it continues, my womb continues to be a compass that I tap into to navigate life, to navigate this journey of being a human. This is really incredibly life-changing work, and I'm here to share it with you to create a streamlined experience so that you have the tools to apply this to your life. If this is the medicine that calls out to you, and if you're here right now, it likely is, because we all came from a womb. Every single person on this planet came from a womb. Doesn't that blow your mind? When I think about that, I get so fucking mind blown. Like, every person came from a womb. How can we as a society be so severed from it? We are so severed from the womb. The misinformation about our menstrual cycle, the misinformation and lack thereof about feminine pleasure, the shame around feminine pleasure. There is so much distortion around the womb. So much distortion. And when you heal your womb, you are reversing this distortion. And you are claiming your womb as your own masterpiece. You're claiming your life as your own masterpiece because you are the creator. You are on the throne. You are on the throne within your womb temple, baby. And it took me some time to discover my womb temple. And as I shared, I moved through a lot in the beginning of my womb healing journey. And hell, I'm still moving through it now. It's different. And over time, it gets easier, especially when you learn the tools to navigate the hard times. And as I shared who I once was before this journey, I have so much love for her, for that version of me. And I see the power of committing to myself. I am a devotee of myself. I'm devoted to myself and to my happiness. And womb healing is the tool that I use to grow, to expand, to create. It is everything that I do and everything that I am. And you don't have to be all consumed by it the way that I am in order for it to impact your life. And there's going to be so many juicy womb practices and tips that I'm going to be sharing with you in this podcast. Lots and lots of juicy womb and femme magic to share with you. And I'm really excited to be here with you. And I want to start out by sharing my story of 10 years ago, I'm now 29, deep in my Saturn return. And 10 years ago, I had moved to Germany. I was 18, 19, living in Germany, and I was doing my senior year of high school there for an entire year. And this was the dark night of my soul. This was when I was far away from everything and everyone that I knew, and I had the space to discover who I was in this world, away from everything that labeled me, away from everything that my identity was attached to. And in this dark night of my soul, I was moving through a lot. I felt really lost. I felt really confused. And I was honestly existing on opposite ends of the spectrum. I was existing in deep depression of self-harm and self-hatred and pain. And then I would party and I would go crazy and I would stay up all night. And, I was a wild teenager, but I was also entering this dark night of the soul. And I felt like I was in this dark tunnel with no light at the end. And the light that was showing up at the end of this tunnel was my womb, was awareness that I have a soul. This was when I was finally starting to explore spirituality, and I was raised Greek Catholic. I was going to say it in Ukrainian, Greco-Katolicki, Greek Catholic. And so heavy Catholic upbringing, a lot of fear of God, a lot of sinning and suffering and proving yourself worthy. And that fucking hypnotized me. And I rejected it, but I was still not sure of what the greater was. And I was starting to discover it through meditation, through climbing trees and just sitting and listening to nature, through feeling my emotions so deeply and then having these big breakthroughs and feeling so connected to God. I feel like this was probably my first Kundalini awakening that I had. And I remember being in this field in Germany, and I was listening to this song, and I just felt this like surge of energy move through my body. And I felt this bliss and this ecstasy, and I was so expansive. And I look behind me and I see this old German man walking through the woods, and he comes up to me and he says, "These are really sacred woods that you are in. And there is a river farther down in the woods that has pure water. And those who drink this water are blessed and purified. And there is a guide here in these woods, and it is a bird. It is a bird that has circles on its wings. And this is a space of healing." And this old German man was so cute. It's such a thick German dialect accent. This is what I was receiving from what he was saying, and hearing him and just being in this other portal, in this other realm. And then he walks away as if he just like disappears. And so I am dancing through this field, and I lay down on the grass on my back, and I'm looking up at the sky, and I literally see sparkles falling out of the sky. I'm sober, mind you, okay? I see sparkles falling out of the sky, and then this bird flies over me with circles on its wings, and I felt the presence of God. I felt the presence of Goddess, not as this overseeing, overarching Lord who is watching you, who is, measuring your sins. No, I felt the presence of magic. I felt synchronicity. And this was a really pivotal moment for me. And I did end up journeying later and finding this stream of water and drinking from it. And it was really, really magical. And yeah, this dark night of my soul, it was the best and worst year of my life. And I came out of that space feeling a lot closer to myself and really eager to learn. I was like hungry for wisdom. I wanted to learn all about the chakras and the crystals, and I was obsessed with the Grateful Dead, and I was on a journey. And a few years later, I was, committed to meditation and just learning about magic. I remember remember leaving class once so I could go and do a moon ritual because it was a full moon and I just wanted to manifest and create. And I started hosting women's circles in my apartment in college when I was 20 years old. And it's just so beautiful to witness the evolution now that I'm 29 and I'm living in this big loft in the city, and it's my womb temple home, and I have ceremonies here with so many women gathering, and just see how this commitment to myself has evolved is really incredible. And this journey of healing was hard. These first couple of years, I was realizing a lot about myself, and it all really hit me, and it all really got initiated in 2016. I was coming out of a toxic relationship with a narcissist. I didn't realize that this relationship was toxic until I was coming out of it. I was graduating college, and coming out of this relationship, I just felt this heaviness in my womb, and I just felt like I was carrying something inside of me that wasn't mine. And it just felt icky, and it felt heavy, and it felt gross. And this was the first time that I was really connecting with the energy of my womb in a way of seeing that it was a really important place to heal. It wasn't just a portal for sex. It was like, no, it was a portal for everything. And so I started reading books and meditating, and through meditating with my womb, receiving all these messages and journaling. And it's like this world of my womb just opened up to me. And what I began to discover was that not only was this guy's energy, my ex's energy in my womb, but the energy of my ancestral lineage was in my womb. And the energy that I absorbed from my mother when I was in her womb and she was pregnant with me and we were poor and my parents were immigrants just hardly making ends meet, that fear that she felt, that was in my womb too. As was my inner child, as was my fear of the masculine, as was my shadow self, my fear of speaking up for myself. And I was like, holy fucking shit, there's so much here. There's a whole universe here. And I also realized that not only were all these layers of wounding present, but so was this magical, powerful, creative life force. So was this connection to God and Goddess. So was this ancient wisdom that I could access to heal all those layers of myself, all the wounding, all the trauma, all the answers were within my womb. And I recognized that these layers of wounding and pain that my womb was holding on to, that they were all an opportunity for me to come closer home into my body, into myself, into loving myself, into loving this life. It is all an opportunity. Remember, energy can't be created or destroyed. Trauma, emotions, they are all energy, and they all have the power to be changed in form into something else, into light, into love, into pleasure. And that's what the womb is. It is a gateway and a portal into that alchemy, into that transmutation. And as I came out of this relationship, I began traveling the world, and I had already been traveling a lot at that point. And I began to intentionally travel the world to various sacred sites. I was visiting family in Ukraine, working with children in the Carpathian Mountains, and then somehow on that trip ended up going to Egypt unexpectedly and getting to work with the pyramids and the Sphinx and being brought there by my guide, Goddess Isis, and journeying then to Peru and Mexico. And I was backpacking around the world by myself as a solo traveler, journeying to Scotland to visit the dragon portals, to England for a priestess initiation and working with the sacred site of Stonehenge in Avebury, to Ireland, to Mexico and visiting the pyramids. There was so many incredible journeys. I'm at 27 countries now that I have traveled to, and there have been such incredible journeys that I was blessed with the opportunity to move through. Yes, I was a 20-something-year-old, and I came home broke after every single trip. I'm not going to say that with any shame, because there was so much determination for me to go and have those life-changing experiences, to work with plant medicine, to work with indigenous healers, to work with priestesses, to work with medicine women, to learn and feel and work with the sacred energy at these sites that are portals on our planet. Everything that I was learning, I was integrating into my body and into the work that I do now. I was a pilgrim. I still am a pilgrim. I was on a pilgrimage to find these lost pieces of myself. And I found them all within me. But it's when you travel to different sites that physically being there in the vortex and the energy of that space, that it activates something within you. It is like a light switch that turns on within you. And all of these sacred sites, they were turning on more and more codes of remembrance of my truth, remembrance of my soul's power, remembrance of my womb wisdom. And I bring all of the energy of these sacred sites into the work that I do. And it was such an exciting journey to be on. And I'm going to share stories from these travels because they are fucking epic. And they are also scary. And there is a lot that I have been through to be where I am, as we all have. And this is a moment where I'm bringing in a soft heads up that there is mention of womb trauma. And if this is something that feels too intense for you to hear now, there will be absolutely no details, just a brief mention of it, because this is a part of my womb healing journey. And if this is something that you feel is too sensitive of content for you, then skip ahead just a minute. I'm just going to briefly mention it here. And on my journey back in 2017, I was backpacking around Peru, visiting many different sacred sites, living in communities, and I had an experience of meeting someone who presented himself to be a shaman. And in that experience, I was drugged and I was sexually abused. And this is one of the worst womb traumas that anyone can experience. And it broke me. It broke me for a certain period of time, and it really impacted my life, my happiness, my health. I feel it's important for me to pause the story here and to bring in a clarification so there's no misinterpretation of what I'm saying in my share. So when I'm referring to this person that I had this womb trauma experience with, when I'm saying that they were someone who presented themselves to be a shaman in South America and ended up taking advantage of me, I want to clarify that this person was a traveler from Europe. This was not an indigenous medicine man. I have sat in many plant medicine ceremonies with indigenous plant medicine men and women who are incredible healers. So this is not at all referring to the lineage of any indigenous plant medicine healers. This is referring to somebody who was a traveler from Europe, who was misrepresenting who he was, and who was, quite frankly, an unsafe person to be around. This clarification is really important to me, and I wanted to just pause this story to bring that in. Thank you. But instead of this being an experience that drove me away from my pain and drove me away from my womb and from myself, I decided that this was going to be an opportunity for me to heal my womb on the deepest level. And for years, I was moving through all sorts of womb practices, figuring out exactly the specific formula of healing myself. of healing my womb. And all of the work that I share with the women that are in my world, it's a collection of these incredible rituals and ceremonies and tools and techniques that I have learned in the process of healing my womb from the entire spectrum of wounding. And I share these tools because I want to help. I want to help you feel better in your body. I want to help you face and release this wounding so that you can be liberated, so that your body is healthy, so that your mind is full of self-loving thoughts. Because this is a pandemic in our world. This is an epidemic, rather, in our world, of wombs being abused, of wombs being neglected. And womb healing is here to reverse that distortion and to heal our relationship with the womb as a collective. And I have gone through a lot to forgive this man, and I regret nothing. And I see that everything that I have learned in healing myself from my womb trauma has given me the insight and the tools to help others who have experienced their own womb trauma. And that's what healers do. They move through healing themselves and their own wounding, and they collect wisdom and tools and resources so that they can support others in their healing as well. I've done my work, and I will continue to do my work because it is a lifelong journey. And I don't even like to call it work, because then we approach it from this masculine and we feel like we have to perfect ourselves and we feel like we have to purify ourselves. And this is not about purification. This is not about perfection. This is about releasing the heaviness of emotions that are unprocessed, releasing trauma, releasing limiting beliefs, so that you can actually hear your intuitive guidance that is coming from your soul and make decisions in your life from that space. Because the wisdom that's coming in from your womb and from that space is guiding you towards all of your desires. It is a feminine way of living to be attuned to your intuition. And that is the greatest gift here of womb healing, is that you are creating such a strong bond with your womb that at any moment you can draw from the wellspring of the wisdom of your womb to receive the guidance that you need. I live my life making decisions from my womb space about saying yes or no to signing on a new client, about the next course that I'm going to run, about the next women's ceremony I'm going to facilitate, about whether I'm saying yes or no to a sexual experience, whether I'm saying yes or no to a friendship. It is guiding me, and it is revealing to me visions of what is possible for myself. It is, my womb is my internal navigation system, my womb and heart. My heart womb, as I call it. And I have brought myself and continue to bring myself from my mind and from my fear and from my limiting beliefs down into my womb. And I am creating such a strong bond and such a strong relationship with my womb that I am seeing my life transform, and I'm witnessing myself transform. And I'm witnessing myself step into this priestess and healer and tantrika and serpentessa and womb alchemist. And these are all archetypes that I associate with. These are all energies that are active within me. And I'm also a human. And I also like to dance, and I also like to party, and I also like to have a drink, and I also like to eat pizza. And I'm here as a bridge between heaven and earth, because I know and feel that all of our wombs, they are the bridge between heaven and earth. And as the bridge between heaven and earth, we get to merge the human mind and the divine mind to come into sacred union, so that, yes, we can still use logic and we can still work with, our linear logical mind to move forward in this life. That's important too. And to bring in the divine mind, which is the voice of your inner self, your higher self, true self, whatever you want to call it. Because there is so much abundance to be experienced in this beautiful world. And we are coming into the age of the new world order, where divine feminine and divine masculine are balanced. And we must first balance it within ourselves to see this externally in our world and in our planet. And my womb healing journey, it goes deep, baby. My womb healing journey, it brought me into acupuncture school, a 3-year master's degree, 18 credits short of a doctorate. It was the most stressful 3 years of my life and the most powerful. It was such an incredible initiation into this medicine. And I incorporate this into the womb healing work that I do, into my perspective of body and reality. It is all streams of energy, man. It is all streams of energy. It's incredible what we can do when we shift our perspective of what's possible. And that perspective shift comes in when we sit with these parts of ourselves that are a byproduct of wounding, that are a byproduct of conditioning. And we decide from a space of self-love that we are shifting this, that we are creating more space for our truth. And the womb is a portal for this alchemy and for this transformation. It's so incredible. I'm so, so excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is my intention that these messages bring more light into the world. It is my intention that you feel supported and you feel seen and you feel like there are options for you, that there are ways for you to live a happy life, to navigate this human experience as a soul. And as a thank you for tuning into my first episode of the Womb Alchemy podcast, I would love to gift you access to a morning womb meditation. This is a video that guides you through opening up and activating your womb. When we start our day off with our womb expansive and turned on, we are magnetic, baby. We manifest, we create at a faster rate. It is infinite what can happen when we begin to tap into the portal of the womb. So I'm gifting you access to this morning meditation. And I just want to say, come and join me. Come and hang out with me in my virtual womb temple. Every Monday, every week, we're going to be posting new episodes. You are going to be receiving so much juicy content that is going to be amplifying your experience as a multidimensional being on this planet. And yeah, we're going to have lots of fun. There's going to be lots of free downloads. I love gifting rituals and meditations. And come and play in my world. This is a place of creation, baby. Let's have some fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you in the next episode. All my love, sending you and your womb big, big hugs. Beautiful soul, thank you so much for tuning into this episode and playing in my womb alchemy world. If you vibe with the wisdom shared in today's episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below about your empowerment journey. Come create some magic with me in my virtual womb temple by connecting with me on Instagram and TikTok at wombalchemy.love. If you're desiring sacred support and guidance on your womb empowerment journey, connect with me through the links below to learn more about my virtual womb temple courses, in-person sister ceremonies, acupuncture retreats, and womb coaching. New episodes are uploaded every Monday, and miracles are happening on a daily basis. Catch me in the next episode, sending you and your womb big love.